So I want to find out if 550 paracord with a strand of fire starting material inside is really worth owning and using in an emergency situation. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. I am your host, Aaron. And 550 paracord, who doesn't use that out in the woods? I mean, I have it everywhere. I always take about 50 feet with me, regardless of day hiking, trekking. It's in survival kits, bug out bags, the whole 9 yards. There's hundreds of uses for a piece of rope that can handle 550 pounds. But in recent years, people have started adding different things to 550 paracord, like fishing line or waxed out pieces of cloth that are designed to be able to be struck with a fire starter or a match or a lighter and then burn for you and long enough for you to get your fire started in an emergency situation. The concept is super cool, but does it actually perform, or is it just a gimmick? So we have two brands here that we're going to look at today, see whether or not the idea is worth investing in and adding to your systems, or if it's just a gimmick. So the first one we're going to look at today is the Livefire Paracord. This thing's going to be about $13 for 25 feet over on Amazon. Links in the description below for both items that we're going to take a look at here today. So did the exact same length of cord for both of these tests. Pulled it out, got it into the little bundle. The first time it took me a little bit to get lit with my fire steel, got it going. And it didn't really burn super hot, and it was really hard for me to get that piece of wood caught. So that was something that I really wasn't expecting, and you really had to get it kind of bundled in the proper way. It took a lot of effort for me to get the cordage lit, and a lot of effort and quite a lot of time for the wood to catch on fire for the fire cord. The gray and orange cord was the UST Ultimate Survival Technologies Paratinder, 30 feet for about $5, $5 to $6. Now, not as many color combinations to choose from, but again, links in the description below for this guy. Same exact length of cord, but I found that it just had a different texture to it, and it was way easier to strike with the fire steel and burned hotter, larger for me, and it was way easier for me to get the piece of wood caught, which was a big plus. So in my initial just kind of out in the woods testing, I found that the UST was easier to light and burned hotter and was easier to catch wood on fire. Next up, I wanted to submerge these pieces of cord, see how they perform. So I threw them both in a cup of water, really got them nice and wet in case there was rainy conditions. You were using it out in the woods, and it just came to that point where you had to use the tinder, but it was wet. So again, started with the fire cord, the more expensive option, and everything I threw at it would not light the cord, wouldn't do it. First with the fire steel, then I went through about 6 matches, would not catch with the matches, and then finally I put my Bic lighter under it and sat it there for a good spell that should have caught paper or anything else, and it just would not catch. So if from my experience, the fire cord will not catch if it is really wet. It just won't do it. Then I took the UST, exact same conditions. Fire steel would not catch. I could tell that it was trying, and it was almost there, more so than the fire cord from Livefire. So probably with like some drying out, it would have caught faster than the fire cord would have. But then I did, matches, and it caught very easily. So I was really happy with that situation. So again, when it comes to these scenarios, I'm seeing that the UST, which is the cheaper version, is going to outperform its more expensive Livefire fire cord brother. Really surprising to see that the UST Ultimate Survival Technologies Paracord Fire Starter outperformed the Livefire, which costs more than this guy does. This guy performed under all the different conditions that we tested. This guy was just really hard to get going for some reason. With all the different conditions, multiple different types of testing that we did. So if you're gonna go with paracord that has a fire strain in it, to this date, of the ones that I have tested, the UST is the way to go. It's not only cheaper, but will start the fire. And in fact, I have put it and attached it to my Gob Spark. I will have a link in the description below. We did a video a long time ago on this. This is my favorite fire starter. This thing is insane, and you saw it throughout the video. So the cord that attaches that is now the UST. Before it was just paracord. I could probably get about 2 fires out of the cord that is represented here, which is pretty sweet. and an added bonus. So the concept, is it something to consider? Sure. You know, the UST bundle is going to run you, I think, about $5 like we talked about. It's a good backup. Is it like the one and done and that's what you use for starting fires? Absolutely not. But it is something that I do see value in, that I'm going to start putting in some of my EDC kits as well as my daily hiking kit. You know, I'm not going to start like lacing my shoes with it, and every zipper I have, and, you know, every lanyard that, you know, I put on my knives and axes is going to have it. No, I'm not going to do that. But in certain locations, certain scenarios, and in each of my kits, I will start to include it just as another option, as another backup to not only have paracord if needed, but also I could start a fire if I had to in an emergency situation. So I hope this concept has helped you guys out decide whether or not it's something to invest in and start deploying in your systems. Check us out on all the relevant social media, and I always appreciate you guys subscribing and becoming part of the channel here. Finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.